Hey, welcome to SideQuest. Today is actually the North American anniversary of Link to the Past,
Yes.
Legend of Zelda.
Otherwise known as Triforce of the Gods in Japan when it released in, what, November?
Is it really? Yeah, in November. So it'd been out a few months in Japan already for their 25th anniversary, but ours is today, April 13th, 25 years ago.
The better of the two releases.
Yeah, is it different? Do you think there's a lot of difference? I don't.
Other than the name, I'm not really too sure.
Yeah.
It should be pretty much the same experience.
Imagine it's the same.
Yeah.
What's your first memory of that game?
Actually, The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past was probably the first Legend of Zelda game that I ever played. I think it was probably the second game that I ever played in general, other than Super Mario World for the NES. Yeah, it was the first one I ever played, The Legend of Zelda. It really concreted my love for the series. And it was the first game that I really completed, all the way through. Other than that, other games, like I would play a little bit and then just kind of get bored. But Legend of Zelda Link to the Past was really something else. It was a really special game.
So that's literally one of your first gaming experiences.
Yes.
Gets to be Zelda. Like how more lucky can you be than to start your gaming life with Link to the Past?
Absolutely. It was just such an amazing game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing else like it at the time.
Yeah. I started with the original Zelda, but I love Link to the Past. May be even one of my favorite games. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got it for my 3DS and my Wii U, and I've played the shit out of it. Sorry if I cuss. Played the hell out of it multiple times. I've probably played that game more than any other Legend of Zelda game. It's just, it really just brings back, a bunch of warm and fuzzies of my childhood, playing with the family, mostly just playing by myself because, I was a video game hog as soon as I found that game.
Oh yeah, in your room. Don't let anybody else play it.
yeah, pretty much.
I think the cool thing about Link to the Past was I think people were really clamoring for the old top-down Zelda after the last one was Zelda 2, which I actually think is a great game. Some people don't, but regardless, I think people were ready to go back to the original top-down formula.
I think they really learned their lesson after the Adventures of Link.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how that did, but I mean, I can remember being a bit disappointed at the time when I played it, but now when I go back and play, Zelda 2, I love it. But,
it's a tough game.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
I don't think I've ever beat that game. I think I've gotten like halfway through it and I just kind of gave up.
I've beaten that game. I've gone through a phase where I was like, I'm gonna go back and beat every Zelda game, and I went through that, and I went through Link to the Past again, and several others, at least up to Ocarina.
Yeah,
that I went through.
Speaking of Ocarina, I think Link to the Past was the first Zelda game that introduced the ocarina, or just some sort of musical element to it, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts in Link to the Past. Master Sword, first time.
Yeah, the first appearance of the Master Sword.
Yeah, so that's cool. First appearance of the spin attack.
Yes.
That's been in every game since, it seems. Is that in Breath of the Wild in the new one?
The spin attack? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. What else? Introduced the a lot of people talk about how it introduced the two worlds.
Yeah,
the whole light world, and that's kind of been a thing that's gone on. And
they really just latched onto that and ran with it, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How's so original that Link to the Past starts out? You're laying in bed and you hear Zelda's calling your name, telling you to come to the castle.
Right. Yeah. Much with pretty much every other Zelda game starts off with Link sleeping. Which I identify I would prefer to sleep my whole life, but then I would not be here.
Right. Until Zelda wakes you up.
Yeah.
And then you got to go. But so then what happens? His uncle says
his uncle is
stay here.
I'm going off to save the princess. And I guess
you find him and he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, I don't know if he's dying or dead.
Yeah.
But either way, he knows his time is up and he's like, here's my stuff.
Right.
It's up to you now to go save the princess.
I think they say he's mortally wounded, but he gives you a sword and a shield. And
that's Nintendo speak for he's dead.
Yeah.
That's about as far as they'll go with that.
Yeah, they can't show blood or anything like that, of course. But then you take Zelda through the castle and you learn that you have to get these 3 pendants in order to get the Master Sword.
Yeah. You get your first pendant, I think, from her. No, you don't get the first pendant right away. You have to work for it.
Go through 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking of A Link Between Worlds, where it gives you the first pendant, I think, right away.
Which is awesome. Of course, Link Between Worlds is the unofficial sequel.
Yeah, the spiritual successor.
Right.
Which pretty much has the exact same map, except for tiny little details changed. But yeah, other than
Which
that,
is also a great game.
yeah, that's another game. I like when that game came out. Like, oh my god, it just really made me happy for ever since until Breath of the Wild came out. Just been playing A Link Between Worlds.
Right. I could play that game nonstop, like walking around everywhere that I would go. I would be carrying that game.
Can't say that game's the hardest Zelda game.
No.
It definitely shook things up a lot, which is awesome. There's a lot of flack that Legend of Zelda series gets just for being too repetitive, which all kind of dates back to A Link to the Past. You know, a lot of the formula that kind of like led it through the next 2 decades, you know, was really just from that one game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect formula. Why not copy it and reuse it? I don't mind that. I mean, I would say after Breath of the Wild, so massive and grand, and like, you know, I would like to see another top-down type Zelda that like Link to the Past.
I guess there's like a challenge in Breath of the Wild where people see if they can just like have the top-down view and try and beat the game that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I tried it for a little bit. Didn't really work out too much.
That's funny. I don't know if I've ever even looked at the top-down view, but does it look pretty similar to a...
You know, after a little bit, you kind of do get the sense that, you know, it's, you know, pretty much the same thing. But
well, there's some stuff about them mapping out Breath of the Wild, or, you know, preparing Breath of the Wild based on the engine for the original Zelda, right?
Yeah. They took I think they used the same engine for the original Legend of Zelda and just kind of like built all of Breath of the Wild based on that engine and just kind of played around with things. And once they kind of figured out the direction that they were going to go in, you know, that's when they pretty much built the new game.
Yeah.
But
that would be cool if they would release that to the public for people to play, but that'll never happen. But
maybe. We'll see. I mean,
that would be awesome.
Nintendo's known for listening to their, you know, their fan base and kind of giving people what they want. Who knows? Maybe they'll take what they did in building a Breath of the Wild, take that game experience and just build upon that. I know they are talking about releasing more games for the 3DS, so maybe they'll put that on there as a 3D feature.
They claim the 3DS isn't dead, even though people are wondering if the Switch is sort of a glorified 3DS, and what's the point in releasing 3DS indie games anymore? But they say they're going to keep supporting it and doing that.
I hope they do. I don't think you can replace the 3DS with the Switch. Not at all. It's just a completely different experience.
Yeah.
3DS
is great. Link to the Past is supposed to be a prequel to the first 2 games.
Yeah, I believe so. If you have your handy Hyrule Historia, I think, yes, it does happen in like the main first branch of the storyline, and then it breaks off from there, I believe. I could be wrong.
But I believe it's a different generation of Link.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is a different generation. But I know the first 2 Zeldas, it is the same Link.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, the next one takes place, I do believe, sometime before that. But yeah, great game.
Yeah, awesome.
Love it.
I would give it an 11 out of 10, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if it did get a perfect score when it came out. It should have if it didn't. But either way, I know it scored very, very high. I mean, even to this day, like anytime like you go on YouTube and you see like people, like fans, they compile their own like, you know, top 10 Zelda games. That one is always within the top 3, and for, you know, good reason.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Good cause to celebrate. So, yeah. Link to the Past, 25 years ago today in North America.
Yeah, 25 years and running. Hopefully, it stays just as good as it is 25 years from now.
Yep,
hopefully, people love it.
Sure will. All right, so yeah, thanks for joining us on SideQuest. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, talk to us. We love talking to you. See you next time. Bye.